What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconerizone for another daily news video on this Wednesday evening. We are gonna talk about some transfer related stuff. Step away from the chaos. I will touch on that a little bit towards the end. But the main focus is gonna be, as you can see on the thumbnail, some transfer activity that we are being linked with at the moment, basically. But before we get into it, please like the video, subscribe to the channel as always, hit that bell notification if you are new or if you forgot to do in the past, and let's get to the main story. If it's the main story, it's Rabiot speaking, and he's talking about his future. He said, or he was asked about the Premier League. He says, it attracts me. I love to play there. I've always said it. He said, I don't have a team of preference, but I'm not thinking about it now, blah, 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 all those things. Now, he is thinking about it because he's playing well for that move. The fact that he says, I don't really care about the team, tells you that he is on the money thing. Like, let's be completely honest. I don't think he's ashamed of that. Like, I don't think he's hiding the fact that he's on. Basically, on that's the scenario. Like, he is playing for that big free agent contract. That's what he's doing, and like I'm not blaming him for that. I'm blaming him for only showing up the last couple of months, basically ever since he joined consistently. That I will put blame on him. But other than that, he's being open, and I think we can say it's done. It's over. According to Nico Shira, he's asking for 10 million euros a season. Good luck. Like, good luck. Even with the performances he's having now, those performances are not screaming 10 million euros a season. Like, even with the performances he's having now, when I think about 10 million euros a season, I think about De Bruyne, Man City impact. I think about I don't know, Savic for Lazio, year in, year out kind of impact. I'm not saying we need to pay him 10 million euros. I'm thinking about those type of players who have an impact on a weekly basis, consistent for years. Then, yeah, 10 million euros. I don't think we have the the ability to pay 10 million euros. But even the way Rabiot is playing now, that's not 10 million euros. Like, let's not set the bar that low. He's asking for 10 million euros because he's a free agent and he's already on 7 million euros. That's as simple as that. That's how it kind of works in today's market, and I'm not sure he's gonna get that. I hope for him, that he knows what he's doing. I will be shocked if a team like Chelsea or pays him 10 million euros. I will be actually shocked. But then again, they have Todd Bowley, who has proven that he has no, how do you want to say, feeling for the game, to be honest, and is spending money way too reckless. But he's gone. Like, he's gone. Good luck to him. I hope he plays like this until the end of the season, and then we move on. That's not 10 million euros. He's playing well, but where were you the previous years? I don't think even we are even in talks with him. I think they started talks, one meeting. They knew what the demands were, and that's it. And they told him, good luck. It's done. We're not paying him 10 million. I don't think we should even pay him 7 million euros. Like, where were you for the last or the previous 3 years? Again, good luck to him. He's been very open with it. Good. We have clarity, I think, for a while now. But that's the final nail in the I'm leaving coffin, basically. So that's that. Put that aside, basically, because I think everybody knew that that he was gonna leave. At the end of the season. Second bit of news is McKennie from Canada, who plays in Bruges. He's being linked with him. Now, the links are not that strong. I've watched him play regularly because I do watch the Belgium league. He's a good player, but not once did I watch. And I don't want to focus on 3 games at the World Cup, because I think that's a mistake for me, because I've watched him play more than 3 games at the World Cup. He's a good player, but not once did I sit there and be like, that's a player I want at my club. I never had that feeling. Again, the leagues are very strong. I'm just mentioning it because a lot of people, were already linking him with us. based on on those 3 games. But I'm not a big fan of it. No, I'm not saying he's bad, but I think we need much better, or I want much better. But we're being linked with him, so I mentioned that because we have a lot of people from Canada supporting us, watching the channel. There was also some Beppe Marotta move and selling the club. Me and Julian are gonna record a podcast that will drop tomorrow or today, depending on when you're watching. So I'm gonna skip that part because we're gonna discuss all that in the podcast. We're gonna skip to the McKennie news. That's from Tutto Sport, saying in order for Juve to buy in January, players must be sold, which is obvious because the squad is too big. Like that's the reason. McKennie is a player who's likely to leave in January. Dortmund are ahead of the other clubs for Juve. If the right offer arrives, the club will cash in on the midfielder. I don't think he's going to leave in January. I think that's more something for the summer, especially if Dortmund is probably the only real team interested in him. I don't see Dortmund spending what we want him, we want for him this January. I just don't see it. But again, it's the 7th of December, excuse me. It's still a long way to go to the start of the window, and then we have a month of the window basically. But I had some strong feelings that he's gonna leave 100%. That was my thought process. But now I'm not so sure. I'm not 100% sure that he is gonna leave basically this winter basically. I'm not so sure about that. But let's see how that will develop. Then we have some Pogba news, who came back in training, all those things. He's aiming to be fit for not the first game, not the second game, but the third game of the season, and that's against Napoli. I will be very disappointed if he's only fit for the third game of the season. It's taken way too long. Like even the how do you want to say that? Like the diagnosis or like the reports about, he will be back 100%, and it takes off. It takes the percentage wise, it goes down until you're at a point where you're like, okay, is he actually gonna be fit in January at all? It's dragging on, and it's coming to a point where I'm like, yeah, when he's back, he's back. Is it the reporting? Maybe, but then the club statements have been all over the place. Look at the Chilio. We're gonna look at it today. That was 2 months ago. Never heard a single word of it again. Now apparently he's not even fit to start, to train fully with the team. It's been 2 months from a day-to-day kind of injury, which is ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. But whatever. Also, you don't hear a lot about the Chilo thing because, let's be honest, not a lot of people care about that. That's the reality. But it's still ridiculous. Then there was some Soule news and from Giovanni Albanese saying that he could leave on loan, but the club will only make that decision 24 hours, the final 2 days of the transfer market, which again doesn't really make sense to me, but whatever. I think he's gonna leave. I think it's best for him to leave on to a good club in January to play, because I don't see him playing a lot. That's just the reality. So that's it for transfer news. Again, there were some leaks again where I'm like, okay, and I tweeted it out. I'm not gonna tweet that out anymore because some of those leaks I'm again reading them. I'm like, okay, you wiretap every day for 2 years and you're just posting everything. The next leak will probably be Paratici calling his wife, asking her what he's making for dinner, because that's part of the leaks, part of the wiretaps basically. And some of those leaks, wiretap leaks, whatever, they're just ridiculous. I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure what to do with that information. It's not illegal. It's just, idiocy. Like, it's dumb. Dumb things are being said, but like nothing illegal. Then something didn't came out about Iatarin. It could be that he was owned by a third party, Raiola, and that's illegal. But everything in that report could be, maybe. I'm like, what is this? Like, you're just saying could, maybe. Just wait until things become official, and then you can write whatever you want. But at this point, they're just not making stuff up, but like suggesting or hoping or assuming things are going to go a different direction. That's not what you should be doing as a big newspaper. But whatever, that's Italy. You have the prime minister, the minister of sport, I think it was, saying teams can fall and climb back up like Juve did, like Napoli did, all those things. Ridiculous. Like, I don't know what to say. You have lawyers invited to the Rai saying, "Oh, they're gonna get relegated. This is worse than 2006." The same guy who was saying we were getting relegated because of the Suarez thing, which was also a farce. But these people are getting a voice because they sell. That's it. That's what it is. I think we just need to wait, because people pick up bullshit. I've seen Dutch newspapers, Belgium newspapers pick up stories from random sources saying, like I said, that lawyer saying, "Oh, it's worse than 2006." And he said the same exact words with the Suarez situation. And Belgian newspapers, Dutch newspapers are picking up with clickbait titles. People have no idea what's going on, but they just believe that. They link it with a certain thing because it's clickbait. That's the world we're living in. Like, real journalism is kind of dead. Like, there are a few, but most of them, they just write for clicks. Then they go on social media, argue with random fans because they say, you're just suggesting things, putting it out there as a truth, and they're just going back and forth on Twitter. I'm like, okay, you're not serious. Like, I go on Twitter because it's fun, it's jokes. But if you're a journalist and you're going back and forth with random accounts with no picture, random ad in their name, and I'm like, oh my god, what is going on? But there are also, people with a clear mind, kind of important people. Serie A president, VGC president of club saying, okay, calm down. You cannot go off just wiretaps, because wiretaps are just, are wiretaps. Like, some of those things, like, you cannot make a judgment based on that. And that's what clubs are, like, people are doing, journalists. We just need to wait and see what's going on, But something is up because, again, an entire board stepped down out of nowhere mid-season. Something is up, But at this point, it's just guessing. We just need to wait and see, because there was a story about we still own Dybala 5 million euros. I'm like, how is that even possible? I'm not saying it's not true. I'm not saying it's true, but I'm saying, how is that even possible that a player like Dybala or a player like Ronaldo, I have no idea that so much money is missing. And how is that possible that it's not on that balance sheet or whatever you want to call it, and nobody picked that up? People who keep tabs on this, UEFA, all those things, are reading those papers, statements, and like, yeah, everything is fine. That's ridiculous. It's also ridiculous if it's true, but either way, it's a mess, and I think it's just best to wait and see. That's what we need to do. But that was today's news. Thanks everyone for watching. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel. Also, as I said, me and Julian podcast about Pepe Marotta possibly coming back, the latest developments, also the club possibly being up for sale for 2 billion euros. That's coming out on Thursday, so stay tuned for that. Excuse me, and we will see you back tomorrow. Ciao, guys.